Hello loves, I'm Rena and I am on the ride of my life. I share my healing journey and the work I do to clear the nervous system from trauma. So today I'm going to be talking about feeling stuck and sharing 3 ways to start to work into healing your nervous system and clearing the trauma. And these are things that I have done. To start out with, feeling stuck, it's interesting. I learned this a little while ago about how our emotions and feelings start to get stuck in our nervous system, in our subconscious, and it happens when we're children. As we get older and things happen, it kind of it's almost like stacking one on top of the other. And it kind of, to me, looked like it was also stacking into the chakra system too. My whole life, I always felt like I couldn't go forward. And I knew there was something going on with me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And it always ended up being this one little thing, this one little thing, this one little thing. And I kept feeling stuck. And I didn't understand what that was. And I did explain in another video how things like, anxiety from an email that comes up and it hits on that thing that's stuck inside of me made me feel that there was this consistent stuckness. I don't really know how to explain it any other way. Basically, like what I said, it's these emotions that are stacking one on top of the other. And emotions are energy. And what happens with that energy is it gets stuck in our nervous system, in our physiology. And when that happens, our protective mechanisms, our stress response, everything like that kicks in to protect us. And whenever we decide to take a step in a direction, it will hold us back because we're too scared. I was too scared. It just happens that way. It's part of our makeup. It's not anything wrong with you. And this can happen to anyone, especially highly sensitive people with a sensitive nervous system. It feels like it's like painful, I think, for me at least. And so for years, I wouldn't step out. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't, for definitely wouldn't get on a video. I mean, I could barely figure out how to run my life at all, and now things are starting to move forward from the work I've been doing. What happens is, as you clear your nervous system, you're actually opening this channel up. And for those of you who are into the chakras, it's the same channel. It's just different ways of looking at it. And when you open the channel up, what happens is it allows these emotions to flow, where instead of what normally happens is that the emotions, every time you get angry about something or every time you are sad about something, it hits on an emotion that's already stuck in there. And when you heal that and you release that energy, it continues to open a space for you to evolve and grow and heal. And what that does is, like I said, it clears this channel out. And when new things happen, new situations in your life happen, and they come in, you're more able to sit with them and clear them and hold space for yourself if you're alone, or you can find someone to hold that space for you and not be afraid to ask and know what to ask. And so it helps you to clear and heal your nervous system out, which inevitably helps you to move forward, which inevitably also helps you to raise your vibration. And the more you raise your vibration, the more you attract things into your life that you want. I think it's important for you to understand that there's nothing wrong with you. When someone asked me what's wrong with you, it really pushed me further and further and stacked more and more of those emotions on top. And I recognize that there is nothing wrong with me. I can say this, and I've read this from, I think I heard it from Oprah Winfrey at one point. If you were traumatized, there's nothing wrong with you. What happened to you is the question. And so if you're able to understand these little nuances instead of feeling not good enough from any of the experiences you had as a child, and then moving into your adult life and still feeling that, you can shift that. And I want to share with you 3 ways that I have used to release the energies of these emotions that kept me stuck. The first way is, of course, again, breathing. Now there's a difference there's different types of breathing. There's the two that I'm going to talk about right now. One is somatic breathing, and the other is just relaxing breath work. And they're different. They're actually different. So with the relaxing breath work, it's generally in through your nose, and then you can hold it, or you just allow it to come out of your mouth. And it's just, it allows this flow to calm your nervous system down, your central nervous system. With somatic breath work, and I've done this, I don't do this for other people, I've done it for myself. Somatic breath work gets into the nervous system. So you're literally breathing in through your mouth, which is causing your system to focus on the breath, which for most of us, we don't breathe. We breathe shallow. We breathe up into our chest. We're meant to breathe all the way down, but when we get into a stress response or fight or flight, then the automatic response is to hold our breath. So breathing into the mouth and holding it, and breathing all the way down into the stomach, and then releasing it from there, actually clears out your nervous system. And what's really cool is that it's very gentle. And I would highly recommend that if you do somatic breath work, that you initially do it for a time with someone who really knows what they're doing. Don't try this by yourself, but know that this is something that can be found to get help with. In the meantime, do the best you can with the relaxing breath work, because you can do that on your own. You can find YouTube videos with people doing meditations of breathing or whatever, and just calm your central nervous system down. Number two, this is one of the most amazing things that worked for me. They call it tremors or shaking. And basically what this is that we're mammals. All mammals do this. So, and for whatever reason, our society kind of trained it out of us because it doesn't look right, or we wouldn't fit in if we did this. What would people think? But if you're going through something, and there's two times that we actually do this automatically. It's like when we're in a complete breakdown or anxiety mode, we'd start crying. I've started crying and gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm shaking anyway. And that's normal. That's actually normal. There's nothing wrong with you there either, you know? And animals do that. If they get into a fight with another animal and they're done, and they just sit there and they shake until their nervous system resets. That's all it is. It's a reset. Also, like if they're being chased, they do the same thing. They stop, they reset, you know? And we can do that consciously and allow ourselves to do that, at least at the beginning, you know, where we can tell ourselves that it's okay to do it. And one of the things that you can do is you can shake your arms. Sometimes I would yell. I've been in the car listening to Rage Against the Machine, which is the perfect thing to get stress out. And I would scream and yell and shake and whatever. And sometimes you can just stand up and you can kick your legs. You can move your arms. You can shake your whole body. You can dance. That'll even get rid of it. Anything that involves like moving and shaking gets rid of that. Now, I look like a crazy person, and that's okay. But I'm trying to give you what it looks like. It's okay. I'm doing it in front of, I don't know how many people are going to see this, and I'm still doing it. Okay. So shaking is fine. Tremoring is fine. And they literally have people out there who can help you learn how to do this. And number three is a good old fashioned temper tantrum. So what I learned a long time ago was I had to keep everything locked in, especially anger. And I wasn't allowed to release that anger. And so because I locked it in all the time, it built up. And what would happen is that I would like either run away, or I would start crying, or something that wasn't working for me, because it continued to happen until I started to recognize it. Having a temper tantrum is actually good for you, and it's good for children. And that happens to be the only way that they can release their anger, because they don't know how else to do it. Because first of all, most of us were really never taught how to deal with our anger, so we aren't able to teach our children. And if they have a temper tantrum, that's just allowing them to release a feeling, and that's it. They're not crazy, they're not doing anything wrong, their body is reacting to an energy that is inside and they want to get rid of it. So I believe, and I have seen information where if a child is going through a temper tantrum, you can sit with that child and allow them that temper tantrum and just hold space for them. And then generally children, when they release a certain energy, they're done. They're ready to move on. So instead of locking it in and forcing them to lock it in, you give them the chance to release it and let it go, so they don't have to deal with these stuck emotions like we have. And so for you, the best way that I've done it is I literally would get on my bed and I would start kicking and screaming and yelling. And if you live in an apartment, you can put a pillow over your face, and that's okay, just as long. Or you can even yell out without voice. It still does the same thing. But you kick and scream, and you kick and pound the bed until you're tired, but you're not done. And then you do it again and kick and pound the bed again until you get so exhausted you literally can't even move. And for me, I felt this lead weight just go when I did that. So it's definitely worth trying. To end this, I want to share with you that feeling stuck is something that can be released. Get in there and just face it, because the darkness that you face inside that you're releasing is your subconscious. I just want you to know it got me from dissociation and dysregulation in my nervous system to being able to sit here in front of you and talk. That's why it feels like it's something I want to share with you. And so one more time, the 3 ways are breathing, relaxed breathing, or somatic breathing. And look it up, make sure you find someone to help you with the somatic breathing. Number 2, the shaking and the tremors, which you can do on your own. And number 3, the temper tantrum. So I hope you enjoyed this and got something out of it. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so these videos can go out further. And like my video. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are. Peace.